Well, if you're looking for a job, recruiters, believe it or not, on average, only spend 6 seconds reading your resume. And these days, you can't even be sure if a human is reading it at all.
And for most people sending out applications right now, crickets. Career coach Emily Durham is here with what it actually takes to get noticed. And Emily, crickets, really?
Oh my gosh, crickets across the board. Hopefully we can give people what they need to get themselves in a good spot.
Okay, so how do we silence the crickets? No, they need to be silenced. How do we silence those crickets and get eyeballs on our material?
Yeah, so when we think about the old school advice when it comes to resumes, friends, we got to get rid of that advice. I don't want you spending hours customizing every single application, and I don't want you using AI to write every single resume that you have. The issue today isn't the perfect resume, it's the fact that no one's opening your resume. So we need to shift our energy from the paper to getting people to know who you are through networking and online presence.
Okay, let's talk about cover letters for a second. Okay, that tells me all right there. Moving along. They're done?
Oh my gosh, waste of time. 90% of the time they're not even getting opened. Let's ignore them.
Okay, you mentioned online presence. How do we do this?
So I'm big on posting on LinkedIn. If you can commit to making one post a week, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just reshare an article in your industry and use that as a launching point to reach out to people who've commented, who've liked, who've interacted, and invest heavy in networking. That's how you really start to build that network.
Okay.
All right. And you say it is quality over quantity these days.
It is. If you apply to a gazillion jobs, you still might only hear back from one. Focus on applying to fewer roles, but flagging your application after you've done that. So after you've applied, I want you finding people who work at the company. Message them on LinkedIn to say, hey, I've applied. Would love to pick your brain on what it's been like working here. So really using this as, hey, I've applied. Let's build a connection, AKA, can you refer me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you also say when it comes to strategy, and I know we're talking strategy right now, you say keep it simple. Any other points regarding simplicity?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of information online, and ultimately a lot of it's kind of crummy. So you don't need to have the perfect resume format. You don't need to have all of the buzzwords. Focus on having a strong resume, making real connections with people. Don't let the AI slop you're seeing on the internet scare you into thinking you need to be doing all of these things differently.
Mm-hmm. What is your advice for those? Because I don't think there's anything more soul-crushing than sending out all these applications and getting those crickets, just hearing nothing from anyone. So what's your advice to those that are hearing nothing?
Yeah, it's really hard not to take this personally, and it's a normal experience to be wondering what's wrong with you. If your resume is updated, you're doing all of the right things, take comfort in knowing the average job search right now is just over 8 months. So it's not you, it's the reflection of the really yucky market that we're operating within. So treat your job hunt like a part-time job, give yourself a set number of hours that you do this every week, and let yourself log off and be a person to recover.
That's really eye-opening, by the way, to hear. It's the better part of a year finding a job?
Yeah, and that's industry agnostic. It doesn't matter what level you're at, what industry you're in. It's slow across the board. So if it's feeling slow, it's the industry around you. It's not you as a job searcher.
And what's going to make you stand out?
Personality. And I know that feels a bit strange and counterintuitive in the era of technology, but because everyone's resumes sound the same with AI, everyone's interview answers sound the same with AI, coming in with some personality as you're networking to say, hey, this is what I like to do. Wear that bright shirt, have that fun conversation starter. That's how you become a person, not a piece of paper.
All right, some great advice for job seekers out there. Emily, thank you so much. It was great to see you this morning.
Likewise, thank you.
Appreciate it.